Welcome to the Beautiful View podcast, where we encourage you to look for opportunities in your life to see a beautiful view. I'm Candy.
And I'm Paul. Today we are going to share some reflections with you as we look back on the past year.
We are also going to share our 2025 Word of the Year with you. With some encouragement as we begin the next chapter of each of our individual stories.
So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful view.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hands I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going to. Well, I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you.
Happy New Year, everyone. We hope this year has started off well for you. It started off cold here.
Yeah, it is cold.
I got up this morning and it said 18 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's cold, but it's extremely dry.
There's no snow on the ground,
No
which is
snow.
really bizarre for January.
It is, and it's so dry that even with these cold temperatures, when I'm out back with the dogs, I'll throw the ball for them, and then they do that about turn to catch the ball, and dust kicks up. Like there's dust clouds in 18 degrees, which doesn't
It's frozen dust, but it's dust.
Frozen dust, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but nonetheless, that's what we're facing.
Yeah.
Now,
this is the first year that we've been here, the first winter that we haven't had snow on the ground.
I
this
know,
time
it's
of year.
wild.
And there's not really any in the forecast either.
No, but
So-
they're south of us.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, they're
Like-
getting pelted.
like a ton of snow, so could be worse. So yesterday I got to try something new, which I told you about when you got back from work. So I got to eat tteokbokki, which is Korean food. Yes, that was about what you looked like when I told you what I was eating.
Yeah.
And
Did you say that? Did you pronounce that correctly?
I think I did. Tteokbokki.
Did you Google it and, ask them to pronounce it for you?
I did, and see, the thing is with me is I pronounce everything just a little off from everyone else.
So if you know the real pronunciation of that, would you just shoot us a message and let us know that?
let me know. And I'm probably never going to say it ever again. But I thought it was good. It's like these little rice cakes. So they're little rice cakes that you boil, and then you put it with a chili sauce, so it's spicy. And I kind of enjoyed it. I think there's a couple of different ways of preparing it.
Okay.
It's kind of a street food.
Okay.
So, and I think it fits in with our new eating habits for the new year. So
Okay.
I'm going to give it another try.
All right. Sounds good. We spent New Year's Eve celebrating with some of our best friends,
Yeah, that was
and we
fun.
had a great time. It was a pretty busy holiday season for us. We had a lot of back and forth. So thank you guys for bearing with us while we kind of took the month of December just to kind of take a breather from
Yeah.
everything and creating new content and all of that. We really needed just a month to just kind of pull ourselves together.
We did.
So it was
Yes.
nice. Thank you for bearing with us.
We have had a busy season as we wrapped up 2024. We celebrated Thanksgiving with family in Texas.
We did. It was wonderful.
Yes, it was. And my oldest daughter got married
She
the
did.
Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we had that celebration as well.
We did. That was a really busy week, but it was a lot of fun.
It was. It was.
Emily and I flew back down to Texas for the family Christmas get-together the Saturday before Christmas, and then we came back to Bellevue on the 23rd, on Monday the 23rd, so that was kind of a quick trip, but so glad that we went. And this year has been a lot of kind of firsts without my mom, so I just really felt like I needed to be down there with the family for
it was the right thing
for the
to do.
holiday and everything, and we just all just enjoyed each other's company so much, and we're able to make some new memories together, so it was a really special time.
Yeah, and we also had a great Christmas here. Tyler's girlfriend joined us, and we all wore matching pajamas.
We did. We were kind of cute.
And
that was Tyler's request.
Yeah.
The matching pajamas. Our 16-year-old son wanted matching pajamas with the family. I love it. I am going to soak up those little moments for as long as they'll give them to me.
Yeah, he's really interested in keeping those traditions alive.
He is.
And speaking of traditions, we had our traditional Christmas pudding.
Oh, yes, we did. I think the first year we were married, I think I bought it.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, and then after that, I looked up a recipe and figured out how to make a traditional British Christmas pudding.
Yes,
and
it was good.
I think I've pretty much nailed it.
Yeah,
I mean,
you did a great job.
It's really good. So every year we have that with whatever for dessert, with whatever else we have. This year it's Mexican food. So we have Mexican food for dinner and British Christmas pudding for dessert. And it's lovely.
It's quite the mixture, but
we are quite
great.
The mixture, babe.
Yeah, we are. We are definitely a mixture. Yeah, so that was really good. But the reason that I bring it up is because I won.
Oh, you did, yes. So tell what you won, what that means.
So it's kind of a tradition, and it goes back a long way in British history that you put a coin in the Christmas pudding when you cook it. And so you bury the coin deep down in the pudding, and then you serve the pudding to the family, whoever else you have in the house, and whoever gets the coin gets good luck for the new year.
That's true.
Or a broken tooth.
Which we're aware that the coin is in there, so we're very careful when dishing it to notice who actually gets dished. And we kind of call whose bowl this is going to be. This is going to be Tyler's bowl. Okay, Tyler, here's your bowl. Paul, this is going to be your bowl. Oh, look.
Well, and it helps that we use a really large 2 pound, not pounds in weight, but pounds sterling, a 2 pound coin,
so
which is
large.
It's a good size coin.
Yeah.
And so it's obvious when you see it.
Yes, it's not like a dime hidden in there or
no,
something.
It's not. That would be a bad thing to do. Mean.
Yes. So we also have some fun things planned for 2025.
Yes, we
and
do.
look forward to jumping back into our podcast. So thank you for joining us.
Here we are.
Yeah. So today we want to invite you to join us as we do a little bit of reflecting and a little projecting for the new year.
And Gracie is busy projecting squeaks from a toy.
She is.
2024 was a year of twists and turns for us. We spent a good portion of it in separate states.
We did, yeah.
We got the news about your mom's diagnosis while we were at the Shawnee National Forest for the eclipse back in April. I was listening to Candy's side of the phone conversation with her sister and pieced together from the tone of her voice and the few words that she was able to speak roughly what was happening. And I knew from that point forward it was going to be necessary to take one day at a time.
Yeah. Our word of the year for 2024 was bloom. It's always interesting to me to see how our word plays out each year as the year develops.
Yes.
I can think of several ways in 2024 that I bloomed. Some intentional, some just sheerly out of necessity.
Right.
When I think of the word bloom, I think of a flower, of course. It starts as a bud, but when the circumstances are right, it opens up and becomes exactly the thing it was created to be, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't get to choose, though, what kind of flower it will be.
That's true.
It doesn't get to dictate the circumstances around it, how often it will get watered, how many other flowers bloom around it, or when its growing season will come to an end. It just stands tall and provides nectar for the little insects that come to visit it that need to be refreshed. I feel like that was my life for the entirety of this past year.
Yeah, it was.
In 2024, I had to dig deep and accomplish things I never dreamed I would do. I bloomed into exactly what I was created to be. I couldn't have done any of it, though, without fully relying on the Lord and without the support and prayers from my family and friends. How do you feel like our word of the year from last year played out for you?
Well, I got to see you demonstrate the principle of blooming in whatever ground you were planted in. whatever situation you found yourself in, whether that was Iowa soil or Texas soil. There's a struggle involved as a plant grows from a seed through the earth, through a crack in the sidewalk, through a gap in a layer of mulch, or a thin crust of rocky ground. The stem pushes up toward the light and seeks nourishment from below, from its foundation, as it matures and blooms. I think there were many people who really appreciated how rooted you are and how you brought beauty into some dark days this past year. For me, I realized just how essential it is to be rooted in good ground before challenging situations arise. I wouldn't say I was in a bad place when we stepped into 2024, but I was not as well rooted as I needed to be. When the time came to bloom, I was undernourished. And it's too late to start gaining emotional, spiritual, and physical strength once a crisis begins. One day at a time is merely a survival strategy. It's not an indication of strength.
We did have a difficult year in a lot of ways, but there were also a lot of ways that we bloomed together this past year. You tend to be kind of hard on yourself. So let's turn this around and talk about some of the really exciting and fun times, too.
Yeah, let's do that.
We won an award at the Iowa Podcast Awards.
We did.
I feel like our podcast really bloomed over this year.
It did.
We added video to the mix, and we have consistently produced quality content, and that's from content creation to the editing side of things. It has been a team effort.
Oh, it really has. We put a lot of time and effort into producing these episodes, each and every one of them. It was very validating to receive the award and to find out that we were among peers in the Iowa podcasting scene. We have a podcasting community.
We do.
There are other crazy people like us that do this.
True.
But that said, I particularly hold dear to the positive feedback we received from our listeners, and particularly from our friends and family. It means so much to hear that our conversations together on the podcast are appreciated by young members of both of our families. I'm also very happy with the quality of work we have produced for the business over the past year. We continue to provide content and service for our clients and welcome some new clients.
We did. We had a ton of quality time with extended family this year as well.
Yes, we did.
Which that gave those relationships an opportunity to bloom and grow as well.
Yeah.
Living so far away from the rest of the family is hard sometimes. We don't get to, quote unquote, do life with them a lot of times. I love how my siblings and I just rallied around my parents and each other this past year and walked through the hard times together. It made the hard just a little bit easier. We had a beautiful time on our beach trip, and we're planning another family reunion at the beach this coming summer, which is exciting.
It is.
Are there any other thoughts that you have about how we saw our word play out in 2024?
The word kept surfacing around us, like as we went through the year.
That always seems to happen. Isn't
it does.
That interesting?
It does. It appeared on 2 buildings in town that, full view of everyone, which was, it was just kind of wild that happened. It was painted on a wall at the cafe here and on a window on a commercial building.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought it was a very positive word, and it really is a positive word, but I took it as an indication that we would see success from our efforts in 2024. Not that we didn't, but that was kind of all I was thinking is like, yes, it's time to bloom. And we did bloom in several ways.
Yeah.
But as we faced difficult times, I was constantly trying to figure out what on earth those difficult times had to do with blooming. Now, with the benefit of a little reflection, I understand better.
Yeah, that's usually how this word of the year thing works. It is so interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Choosing a new word each year always feels like a huge responsibility for me. I do not take it lightly. I have pored over and prayed over our word for 2025. I always begin with reflecting on the past year. I go through all the photos on my phone.
All the many photos.
Oh, there's thousands. I love doing that. I start with January, and I just love to go through and remember all the little things that happened through the year. And this year, I started something kind of new that I haven't done before.
Yeah.
I started in my little notes app on my phone. I went through each month and I listed like January, and I wrote down some of the highlights or the key points that happened in January as I looked through my photos.
Nice.
So I kind of just, because we do so much each year. It's hard to remember what you did in January or February by the time you get to the end, right?
Yeah.
So
It's was that 2023 or 2024?
Yeah, exactly. So it was just really refreshing to kind of go through all the pictures and kind of make notes of things that we did and kind of the highlights and stuff and to kind of reflect on. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, we really pile a lot of things into our days, months, and years. Some highlights for me from 2024. It started with the eclipse trip.
Yes, that was our first big thing. And I feel like we started January planning for the eclipse trip in April.
We did. I mean, that was all 4 of us, 2 dogs, and we are going to the middle of the forest with like no hookups, no anything.
Oh, yeah.
So
tents.
So we were like, okay, we're going to have to get serious about this.
Oh, that was so fun. We did a whole episode about that experience, by the way, if you want to go check it out.
Yep. And something that we maintained through the year that we've been very conscious about is we've done our You and Me Day.
Yes.
Every month.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Except for the ones that we were apart.
But, But for the 23rd of each month, which the 23rd of February is our anniversary.
It is.
So every 23rd of every month, or as close to as we could, we took a day and we did a day trip and just had fun together.
Yeah.
A museum, something like that.
Day.
A date day. Yes. So that's what we've been doing.
That's nice.
We also got to do some photography jobs together.
We did.
Yeah.
Those are always fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Where we got to take photographs of some vacation properties.
Yeah. Actually, the first one that we did this year, and I had forgotten about this, that it was in this year, we got snowed in.
Really? That was this year?
That was in this year. That was January of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, we went to Makokata to do a photo shoot in this really large, it's a mansion of a house, and we got snowed in there and had to stay an extra day.
Darn it.
Oh man, it was a lot of fun.
And the back and forth between Texas and Iowa, one of the highlights of the year for me, which I still really don't understand why it's a big highlight for me, but it was.
It's a little comical.
I was just going to take the trip down to Texas to come and join you and sort of like see how far I got, because I wasn't taking the RV. So I was coming down in the truck.
The first time you were bringing the RV down.
And
that's when you found Off-Gridley.
Oh, is it?
Tyler was with you the first time. Because you were on your way and you're like, I need somewhere to pull over.
I'm not losing my mind.
Yes, you are.
In front of a camera, 2 cameras, and audio recording.
This is why we keep things pretty scripted.
This is why we keep things scripted. And the thing is, no one knows, so you could have just let it go.
Yeah, but I'm like,
tell me afterwards.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, that's because I feel like you're gonna get into it, and then you're gonna be like, that's not how that happened.
No, I won't know. Afterwards, I'll just be that's the way it was. So anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, where do I pick that up? Oh, Tyler and I set out. And we didn't know how far we were going to get driving.
It's a long drive.
It's a long drive. It's not going to take one day. It's going to take at least 2, 3. So we decided what we would do is just keep driving. And but as time was going on, it became evident that we needed to
find somewhere to pull over.
And so I called you.
You did, yeah.
And so you're like, I found a place. It's cheap. It looks great. Has great reviews.
It was a little off the beaten path, though. So that was kind of my concern. Like you were going to have to go off the interstate.
Yeah. So we got off of I-35 and in Kansas, and we drive to this little town called Gridley. And we get there, and there's this it's owned by the city. It's a little campground owned by the city, and it's by a lake, and just beautiful. And it felt like it was in the middle of nowhere.
Because it was.
And so we stopped there.
You were so excited about it,
I was pumped.
Oh, my word.
So Yeah.
No. You were sending me video and pictures.
Okay, let's just stop right here while we're on two cameras. Okay, because I've redeemed myself. The first time I stayed at Gridley was in the tent. We didn't stop in Gridley when Tyler and I came down. It's when I came back. We stopped in Des Moines, and then from there we went from Des Moines, which, you know, I mean, why would you stop in Gridley after that? Des Moines, and then we stopped halfway from there.
In Oklahoma.
At that place you found us.
You were in a tent the first time. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out how the RV got down there.
Yes.
Good job. Okay.
We have evidence.
I was wrong.
We have evidence.
Forgive me. I was wrong.
But it also means I wasn't crazy. Like, this isn't right. We didn't stop in an RV until we both went there.
Okay. I was trying to figure out when you got... You guys went back and forth like way too many times.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
I don't know if any of this is going to make it in the podcast, but I feel great right now.
You're probably going to leave it in just for that reason.
Okay, so I'm going to have to start it off again. As if I'm going to edit all this out. Okay. So the first time we went to Texas, Tyler and I came down together, and we were with the RV. Then I had to get him back here because he had school and things to do.
Yeah, so you were just in the truck. You left the RV in Texas.
So, yeah, I left the RV in Texas, and we were just in the truck coming back, and then I returned to Texas.
In just the truck. Yes.
And I called you, and so you looked up on your apps, and you found Gridley. And, man, that was just fantastic. So I'm there with...
Gridley, Kansas.
So I'm there with my tent, and it was like $5 a night for a tent.
It was very off the beaten path. Like, it was in the sticks of Kansas.
It was in the sticks, but it was like the city have built this fantastic campground with all the amenities, and there's like a really nice like shower house there. And like geese on the lake, and it was just fantastic.
You called me and you were over the moon about it, sending me pictures and videos and
for all of the wonderful searching that you did. Yeah. So and actually later on in the year, when we came back from Texas and brought the RV back, I'm like, we have to stop at Gridley.
So we did.
Yeah, we did. I took her to Gridley.
And you had a fun little nickname for it.
Yes, because it was so far out and in the middle of nowhere, I nicknamed it Off-Gridley. So from now on, it's Off-Gridley.
Off-Gridley. Can we stop at Off-Gridley?
Yeah, we will be back. We're going to go back there. But we had other camping trips during the year as well.
We did. Yes. We got to camp with our friends in Decorah.
Yes, we did.
We kind of missed the mark on the reserving the RV site, so we had to take the tent. But it was in October, so it was fine. So we took the tents and we had a blast. We had a great time.
Have a good time.
And then when we got through there, it was like we weren't quite finished camping, and they weren't either, so we camped at our little local county park up the road. So we did come back and get our RV for that.
Yeah, we did.
So we stayed there for about a week.
A little bit of glamping down there.
We did, yeah. As we enter this new year, I find myself feeling hopeful.
Yes.
But also a little bit apprehensive. I have walked very gently into 2025 as if to not disturb anything. I spent the majority of 2024 taking care of everyone except myself. And I think that's okay for a season. That's what I was supposed to do. But it's left me feeling a little bit like I just want to curl up on the couch with my blanket and read my Bible and journal and create things. And I just long for quiet times where I can just sit and pray and just be present in all the little moments.
Well, that sounds like a dream.
Yeah, I think so too.
That also sounds like something we can do from different places, like in our RV by the river, or maybe even Off-Gridley.
I see where you're going with this. I'm sure that 2025 holds camping in our future.
Yeah,
We missed kind of the whole summer of camping this last year. Yes. So I feel that needs to happen this year.
Yep.
I really miss the days when we lived in the RV and life was so much simpler.
Yes.
When I could just pile up on the bed with my Bibles, multiple spread out, and just spend several hours there each morning just studying and poring over scripture and praying and journaling. That was just such a sweet time. Mm-hmm. I just can't seem to find the time for that these days.
Have changed. Yeah.
You move back into a house and you get all the things that go with that. Yes. And it's just very different.
Yep.
I kind of hit a point at the end of this past year where my well of creativity was just completely dry. Mm-hmm. I was tired. I was exhausted. I was burned out. I was frustrated. I'm just grieving still. And just, I hit empty. Mm-hmm. I enjoy my job at the brewery, but I cannot allow it to take over my life.
No.
There are too many other things that I have to do. I can feel burnout coming on, and I just need to find better balance.
Yes.
So I feel like I need to pause. I need to breathe in deeply and exhale fully.
Yes. But you're doing a great job at the brewery.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like the perfect fit for you. Which is kind of why you're in high demand, because like you are gifted at it. Like you're great with people, you're great with the staff, with the customers. But yes, I look back on the days when we were both praying and reading regularly. Mm-hmm. That led to our reintegration into a community here in Bellevue, Iowa, and taking on more responsibilities and being able to help others. It would be going a little too far to say that I was ready for anything at that point, but I was definitely at a place where I was at my strongest. Yeah. 2024 caught me off guard. As I said before, I wasn't in a bad place. I was just not ready for it.
Yeah.
The culmination of that was hearing about our friend's sudden passing in November. Mm-hmm. We drove to Texas for the funeral, and as we walked into that church to the sound of I'd Go Anywhere playing over the sound system, I fell apart. I've developed a thick skin over the years when it comes to facing tragic situations. But being able to have those things just bounce off the outside of you and not be fully present in them is not a sign of strength or health. Yeah. There were times during your mom's sickness that I was kind of jealous of the way that you and your family were able to grieve openly together and share love and comfort. It's a gift.
It is.
So this brought me to a conclusion. I'm not as prepared or grounded as I need to be. We both need the kind of nourishment that develops strength and durability. The kind of strength that can enable a person to walk into the middle of a challenging situation and weep, but also speak words of life with a conviction that comes from deep within. Yeah. So that being said, what is our word of the year for 2025?
Well, in 2025, our word of the year is abide.
Yes.
We are going to abide fully in Jesus. I need the Holy Spirit to consume me again, to inspire me, to lead me in all that I say and do. I want to have more balance in my life and to schedule time for content creation, for my job at the brewery, for Bible study, for my kids, for my husband, and most importantly, I don't know if it's most importantly,
I think it is. I think it is.
You can't pour from an empty cup. That's the biggest thing. So
no, I think
that really is important.
The thing about that is it's kind of like when you're on the plane and they go through the routine at the beginning and they say, be sure to put your oxygen mask on first and then help someone else. That's true. That kind of a situation.
That's true. Yes. I really need to take better care of my body, my health. I want to minister those around me and lead by example.
Yes.
I feel like I'm playing catch up a little bit with my family since I was gone a good portion of this past year. So I really just want to soak up all of those little moments. The word abide really conjures up a sweet, comfy picture in my mind of sipping coffee with my Bible splayed out, soaking up my Savior's love.
Yes.
This past year was very unsettling for all of us. And I am just really craving the space to do all of these things. Mm-hmm. When I think on the word abide, I feel at home. Mm-hmm. I feel settled, comfy, peaceful, reassured, grounded, and it just settles my heart.
When you announced to us our word of the year, it confirmed my suspicion about the way ahead. I need to abide in my faith, abide in my family, abide in community, and abide with my friends.
So that was your initial reaction. After sitting on it for a few days, how does it hit you now?
Well, it's helped me take a breath and relax a little. You know, the word abide, I have those same feelings that you have when you think about that word. It's not like a motivational word that you're like, I'm going to achieve, or I'm success, or whatever. Right. It is
it's more of a rest.
A comforting word. But I know it doesn't mean 365 days of vacation.
No.
There's soil to till. There's some soul growth that needs to happen. We need to fulfill our responsibilities well, but not seek out new ones, not this year. I feel good about where this will lead.
Yeah. In my preparations, I chose a total of 10 words. And I just took time with each of them, just reading them, looking up definitions, just really poring over them. Abide was actually the first word that came to my mind when I initially started this list. It's the first word that I wrote down.
Yeah.
And after poring over all of them, it was the one that kind of hit closest to home for me. So it's the one I went back to. It was the thing I felt we needed the most, that I needed the most. It's kind of a big thing to choose a word, not just for me, but for our entire family.
Right.
So what are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about me choosing a word for our whole family? Why don't we each choose our own?
Well, I've said many times in our conversations that there are two occasions in the Bible where the word helper is used to describe a person. The first is in Genesis, where Eve is described as the helper. And then in the New Testament, Jesus tells his disciples that when he leaves them, the helper, the Holy Spirit, would take his place among them. So there are times when I definitely feel inspired to say or do a thing that meant something in our lives as a family.
Right.
But I sense that you mostly kind of remain in that state. So for you to bring the word of guidance for us as a family seems entirely appropriate. And also, like, if we all had separate words, then that separates us and our intentions and our goals. When we have one word together as a family, we can kind of check in with each other and hey, this happened today, right? So that's kind of cool as well.
It is. I enjoy that aspect of doing it as a family. I think it brings us together.
It does. Now, I won't say that I haven't tried to guess what the word will be in the past. At the end of 2023, I wrote down a word because I knew that you were thinking and praying on it for our word for 2024.
Okay.
And so I kind of I was like, I really think I know what the word is. And so I had this all planned out, and I wrote down the word on a piece of paper.
Okay.
And I sealed it in an envelope. And I said, I'm going to put this envelope right up here, and don't pay any attention to it, and maybe it'll become relevant at some point. And so, of course, I knew what the word was that I put in the envelope, and then we did our New Year's Eve thing going over the year and came to the point where you announce the word, and it totally wasn't the word in the envelope. And so I was like, I wonder if she's forgotten about the envelope. And you've forgotten about the envelope, thankfully. So I just sort of like went into the kitchen and snuck it off the shelf and just threw it in the trash.
So you got to tell me now, what did you think it was?
Well,
now this was for 2024 when it was
2024,
Bloom.
When it was Bloom. And I thought the word would be family.
Oh, okay.
Which, as it turned out,
there was a lot of family in 2024.
It was, but it wasn't the word.
Okay.
But I didn't, I was just like, if it works out that it's the same word, wouldn't this be cool?
So you didn't try to do that again this year?
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing that again.
That's funny. The word abide is used 10 times in the first 10 verses of John chapter 15. Looking at the Greek roots of the word, we discover helpful definitions. To abide means to dwell, remain, be present, and to be held or kept. Abiding addresses both our posture and place.
One of those verses is in John chapter 15, verse 4. It says, "Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me."
The verse that follows that, verse 5, says, "Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them will produce much fruit." At the end of the day, you cannot pour from an empty cup.
No.
It is time to refill our cups so we can pour out the love and light to those God places along our path.
So, in 2025, we will abide in him. Mm-hmm. We will seek more balance. Mm-hmm. We will rest in our Savior's love and look forward to the fruit that abounds from that commitment.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today. Our hope is always to inspire and encourage our listeners. So we hope that this episode has encouraged you to think about a word that you can adopt for the year ahead.
Yeah, take a little time to reflect on the previous year. What do you need more of in the coming year? What are some good things that you're bringing with you into the new year? And what things do you need to leave behind? May your resolutions, goals, and aspirations for the new year bring you tons of beautiful views.
Speaking of beautiful views,
yeah,
be sure to check out our new merch store.
Whoop, whoop.
We're pretty excited about this, as you can see.
We're very excited about this.
So we have established a store, and we can add products to the store as time goes on, and we already have a good range of products. So we have some hoodies and t-shirts that have like sayings on the back of them. One saying is, "Life is a journey, enjoy it." Another is, "Always look for opportunities in life to see a beautiful view."
Yes.
And so there's various colors available, and we're going to be adding new products as time goes on.
We have a snapback.
Yes, we do.
We have several other things.
Camping mug. With the logo on it. On the right side.
Socks.
I did socks. I can't wait to get a pair of those
comical,
socks.
But okay. Somebody might need Beautiful View socks to take you on your beautiful views.
Everyone needs Beautiful View socks. So check that out.
I tell you what, you wear your Beautiful View socks, and I'll wear my socks with your face on them.
Oh, gosh. That's not a beautiful view. Okay. So check out the store. And we're going to be adding products as time goes along. And so you can find the link for our new merch store in our show notes.
Yes. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Feel free to share our posts, share the link to our podcast with your family and friends so they can listen to our craziness as well. You can also find us on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platform.
As we conclude each podcast, we always like to give the topic for the next episode. So what's up next?
Well, we have a very exciting opportunity coming up for our next episode. We will be doing a live podcast from River Ridge Brewing here in Bellevue, Iowa. Shout out to the Manstream Podcast for putting this event together.
Yes.
Join us for a day of excitement and entertaining at On Tap, a live podcasting event featuring an incredible lineup of shows and special guest appearances. It's the perfect day for podcast lovers to enjoy live recordings, interactive discussions, and tons of fun.
I've got to admit, I'm a little nervous about this.
It's going to be great.
Our episodes, as we record them now, we do not record the whole thing live and send it out as is, we have the opportunity to go back
and edit.
So when I'm right and you're wrong about a story, we can go back and edit it to make it look like we were both right all along.
Vice versa.
Yes, but I met with Josh from the Manstream podcast yesterday, and we walked through kind of how that's going to work. And it's going to be a good time.
It will be a good time.
Yes. The date for this event is Saturday, January 18th, and the event will kick off at 1 p.m. And for those of you who are not local, this episode will be recorded and it will be released as our next episode.
Well, thank you once again for joining us today. We hope you have a great day, and remember to always look for opportunities in life to see a beautiful view.
Yes.
We could climb a mighty mountain, float on down a winding river, travel back in time and face our future too. Oh, I'm not scared of where I'm going, 'cause I know whose hands I'm holding. Oh, I'd go anywhere as long as you're going too. And I'd go anywhere as long as I'm with you. I'd go